Hey guys, thank you so much for being patient. Sorry about that for taking a minute to get in online and everything. We were trying to figure out the sound and testing a couple things here and there. Welcome everybody, guys. Welcome, welcome. Can you guys do me a favor? I have a guest here by the name of Jill, who you guys have seen in the chat. She's been a heavy supporter of my channel. Amazing person who has supported me on my channel, and I just wanted to make sure that we welcomed her. She's actually been she's hit the link before when it came to talking about celebrities and celebrity fixers and stuff like that. Now, she was supposed to come back, and so she has. And we were going to do a pre-recorded conversation, but we felt that it would have been better for for it to have been like a live stream type of situation. Now, she let us know a couple things about things that she's done in the industry and whatnot. So you guys do me a favor and help me welcome Miss Jill over here. Hi, Jill. How are you?
I'm fine, Rabbit. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
And
Okay. Can you guys let me know in the chat if y'all hear Jill? If not, we're going to try our best to kind of deal with the sound because I'm not there in her area, so I can't really help her. But, hopefully we can figure this out. Okay. Okay, so Jill, tell me a little bit. I see that people are here. They're saying hi, Jill. Welcome, Jill. Hi, Jill. Everybody's welcoming you. Um, One of the things that you let me know, I guess back in the day. Thank you so much, Sly. Sly said that audio is 50-50, so it's perfect. Um, so some of the things that you guys have let me know, or excuse me, Jill. Back in the day, you told me that you are a celebrity fixer, and I was really confused about that. Can you tell me? Can you tell the people like what is a celebrity fixer? What do celebrity fixers do? Are you there, Jill?
yes, you want me to answer that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Um, a celebrity fixer is a person that when an actor or a writer or somebody in the entertainment industry has a problem, has made themselves a problem, you find a way of keeping it out of the press or downplaying it or calling in some favors from newspapers at that time and keeping keeping it just secret. That's
Gotcha.
a fixer. Uh, it's, somebody asked a really insightful question last time, and that was, why would an entertainment fixer not know about all this music things that are going around, like about gay and this and that? It's because I, being an entertainment fixer, you are working 24 hours a day. You're on call. You're either doing something, thinking about something. It doesn't overlap. I mean, the music we used on the show that I was helping, that was bought music. It wasn't somebody coming into the studio. Now, I met a few, I met a few uh, musicians, but it was nothing that would be considered, nothing that would be considered large. I was busy enough trying to keep
Yeah.
on my show as
Jill, I want to say so I'm looking at the chat and a lot of people are saying that you sound very muffled. Are you near the laptop or are you near the device by chance? Because
yes,
people
I
they're
am.
okay, they really want to hear what you're saying, but that's the consensus that I'm getting here. I'm trying to figure out what would be the best way to do this. I wonder if I were just to call you on the phone and then you could just answer questions that way, that might be better. And then me just put the phone on the mic. Okay, let me do that. All right. So go ahead and Jill drop. All right, y'all, hang tight, okay? Because we've been trying to figure out the sound issues, but y'all give me a second because I think we're all struggling to hear. I know I am too. All right. Jill, go ahead and log off, and I'm gonna call you here in a little bit, okay?
Yes.
Okay. One sec, y'all. Okay. Let's call Jill.
All right. Hello.
Hi. Okay. Can you guys let me know if you hear Jill? Let me know if you hear Jill. Say something, Jill.
Hi, everybody.
Y'all hear Jill? She said, "Hi, everybody." I mean, everybody wants to hear what you have to say. That's why I'm.
No,
What?
I don't know what else to do. I don't know.
No worries, no worries. Everybody's saying that they can hear you. Okay, so you were explaining to the people what a celebrity fixer is, and you kind of cut off a little bit there. But if you can just answer the question again, what is a celebrity fixer in a shorter version of it?
Okay. If somebody that you're working for gets themselves in trouble or does a boo-boo or has something out there they don't want anybody to know, your job is to make it go away, whatever that takes. You stand in front of them. You take the bullet for them. You come up with creative ideas on how to it was an interesting job.
You said that there was something about a question that you wanted to answer about, like,
Oh, yes, absolutely.
can
Thank
you can you say the question out loud so everybody can hear it? Because I think you were like sharing something very valid here.
Yes, the last time we spoke, and I didn't read it until after we were done. Person wouldn't know about all of this giddiness and music and what's going on. It's because it's a whole different ballgame. The entertainment, then it's just calmer. It's not. Our show didn't use live music except for once or twice. We had Ringo on, but he's not. That man has no secrets. So I would work like 24. I was on call 24 hours a day. Many 2 a.m. phone calls, 3 a.m. phone calls. We didn't have time to be concerned with what was happening with music. And frankly, none of us wanted to be involved in it. We knew basically what was going on, and it was a train wreck.
Gotcha.
I mean, people were killing each other. I mean, none of us wanted that. We had our own problems.
So that I understand, you're saying that there is a difference between a celebrity fixer in the music industry and a celebrity fixer in like films and movies and shows. Am I hearing this correctly?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. But you also have people that try to do both. And when they do that, when that happens, it's a recipe for disaster. You can't do both. You just can't. I can't defend Diddy and make his problems go away while I'm trying to help an actor who's cheating on his wife. It doesn't work.
I love how you said like an actor that cheats on his wife, y'all. Jill, you're
and
funny.
Frankly, I wouldn't work for somebody like Diddy. So that we can close that conversation out quick.
Yeah. Oh my god. But you're hilarious when you say that because I'm thinking like, so what is the difference between a fixer and a PR person? Because it seems to me that they're almost like one and the same. Am I wrong for saying that?
There's a huge overlap.
Okay.
There's a huge overlap. Yes, a publicist goes after the good publicist.
Okay.
but they have to work with me because I know where every body is buried, and they want to make sure those bodies stay buried. So we work together. Usually it's tandem. If they need something, I need something. And a lot of the Criminal Minds actors and actresses didn't have people.
Okay.
They did it on their own. They didn't even have, some of them didn't even have agents. They were smart.
Wow.
And that's why they have a lot more money than the people that made more money but had, staffs of 3 and 4.
For those that don't know in the chat, Jill actually worked very closely with the Criminal Minds cast. There's a website out there. I mean, Jill has shown me pictures. You also worked closely, or at least had a couple of interactions with Chris Brown. Am I hearing this correctly?
Yes. Well, the first, Chris Brown was in LA to get sentenced for beating the hell out of Rihanna. And I stay at the Sofitel. I stay in a suite, and he was across from me. 2 days later, he comes in, and we're both there.
Yeah.
He threw a party. He was a wreck. I mean, the whole hall was full of his cronies, and God, Rabbit, if we could just sell the jewelry these guys were wearing and the chains, you and I could retire, and Baby Bunny could go to Harvard.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, and I'm not exaggerating. But it was it was bad for me because I had people wanting to come that I had meetings with. I wasn't there for pleasure. And they didn't want to be seen. He was giving interview after interview, and I mean, there was a constant stream of people because evidently they had made a deal on what they were going to do with him. But a judge can always say at the last minute, no, I don't accept this deal. So it was craziness. I mean, finally, I had an ex-FBI agent who did some work on our show come and talk to security and tell them, you got to get some of these people out of here. I mean, the whole hall is full.
Mm.
I mean, you're paying $900 and something a night. You don't really want that.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in the penthouse. It was supposed to be private. That's why people go to the penthouse. Anyway, so I'm coming up from the pool one day. Mind you, I don't know who Chris Brown, what he looks like. I don't know nothing about it.
Okay.
Other than I don't like the people in the hallway. I'm coming up from the pool, and you have the picture, I think. And there's this man who comes up to me, and he said, I'm really sorry about the noise and everything. And I'm having a party tonight, and the doors will be open, and you and your friends are welcome to come in. Okay, you never turn down an invitation like that if you're a fixer, because you get to meet people. You get to meet people you didn't know. So myself and a couple of writers that I'm friendly with, we went out to dinner, and then we went upstairs, and the door was open, and there seemed to be a ton of people in there. So we said, what do we have to lose? It was a very nice party. There were no children there. The only problem we had was this little man who kept getting really irate that we wouldn't let the bartender that was following him, like they were on a leash together, to fill our drinks. Well, we didn't want our drinks filled. First of all, one of the writers did know who he was and clued us in later, and what his reputation was. So we were just we had a great time.
Yeah.
But at 12 o'clock, they asked us to leave because they were going to have a smaller, more personal gathering, which made perfect sense. The man might be going to jail. You know, he doesn't want all these strangers around. He wants to be. It made sense to us when we left.
So, Jill, you're saying that around the time Chris Brown had gotten in trouble about the Rihanna situation, he was in California. He was facing this time, right? It potentially prison time. And so he decides to have a small party. You're a fixer at the time. So you have this interaction with Chris Brown. You didn't even know who Chris Brown was at the time. But this is what was happening, is that he decides to have a small party because he could be going away for a long time. Am I hearing this correctly?
Yes, except it wasn't around the time. He checked in the night before he was to be sentenced. That's how close to sentencing it was. And that's exactly right. That's exactly what happened. And then, of course, then I met his mother the next day and realized where crazy came from. I mean, it always, you know, there's two things in life. Always follow the money, and mothers make kids crazy. If you see a crazy human, it's because their mother was crazy.
Oh my God.
Two things to never dispute. And his mother was a piece of work.
Oh my God. Can I show the people the picture of you and Chris Brown?
You can show any pictures you want, Rabbit.
Thank you. All right. So this is just to let y'all know. This is, I mean, look how young Chris Brown looked back in those days, y'all.
Look how young I look.
Look. And Jill. Okay. And Jill, y'all. Thank you. Oh, Jill. Sly, thank you again so much for gifting. Shout out to you, Sly. I promise I will celebrate you here. You said, oh my God. So did you eventually find out who Chris Brown was?
Okay, the minute we walked out, a whole bunch of us left. It wasn't like you two, you know, you four, actually. It was four of us. It had been a lot of people in there, and they wanted it. It was private, so a whole bunch of us left, which was good because I had an actor hiding in my suite because he was scared of cameras. So he just like got in with the group and just got the hell out of the hotel.
Wow.
But no, it just seemed natural. And the minute we walked out, one of the co-executive producers said, I said, that was nice, except for that man who gets wanted. Why did he want to fill our drinks? I mean, we were drinking. It wasn't like we were, you know, standing there being. She said, do you not know who that was? And I was like, I don't even know whose house we're in. I mean, I feel like so out of the loop. I don't know what to say. She said, that's Diddy. And I said, who's the Diddy?
Who's the Diddy?
Diddy. And then she started telling me who Diddy was. And I was like, oh my God, that Diddy? And she's like, wait a minute, did you think there were two Diddies? And I was like, oh my God. And we were in his, oh my God. No, and he was the only crazy person. Let me tell you something. I loathe what Chris Brown did.
Yeah.
And I if I could have had 5 minutes alone with him, he would have known it.
Yeah.
But he was very pleasant. I hate to make anybody mad, but the only person who wasn't pleasant and kind and friendly during this whole thing. I mean, Chris Brown was introducing people to other people, and which is why I went in there. So it was this little man who I was just drinking. I think a Manhattan. I'm not a drinker.
Yeah.
So I sip. I do it so it doesn't make me stand out that I'm not drinking. And he's wanting to fill my glass. Where are you going to put it? In my pocket? I mean.
So as a celebrity fixer, you had to kind of like play the part, right? Like you had to fit in. You had to kind of act unbothered of certain things. Am I hearing this correctly?
Absolutely. And if somebody confronts you about something that really is going on, you know nothing about it. What are you talking about? That never happened. I don't know who's giving you that information, but they're winding you up.
Wow. Jill, how did you even find yourself in this position? Like, how did you even find yourself having this career?
I had done a lot of charity work over the years with Mandy Patinkin, who was at that time the star of Criminal Minds.
Okay.
And we were on first name basis. I couldn't sleep one night because in my real business, I had a big meeting the next night. Long story short, and trust me when I tell you, it's a long story. I just got on the computer and started a blog. That was it. It was like 2 paragraphs. Next thing I know, it's like hundreds and hundreds of people are liking this. So I wrote some more. And then I get a phone call from CBS. Now, Criminal Minds was made by ABC, but shown by CBS. I get a phone call. Would you, you're like the only person doing publicity because neither one of us are. So would you like to come to visit the set and meet everybody so they can thank you? She thought it was a one-off visit. I thought it was a one-off visit. So I go, I meet everybody. She won't even leave me alone. I mean, she follows me to the bathroom, God forbid. What? Who's going to tell me something in the bathroom? But Ed De Niro's office, the man in charge, was huge. When she stood at the doorway, I was at his desk and we were talking, and I said, "You've got problems. I've heard rumors. You need those rumors to go away."
Oh.
And he said, "What can you do? What would you do about those rumors?" I said, "I'd make them go away." And he said, "And you're qualified how?" I said, "Well, I have a master's in psychology." And I've known Mandy Patinkin. I know everything that's buried about him. And it will take me about 5 minutes to get up to speed on everybody else. And he said, "Don't tell CBS," the CBS lady, Diane. He said, "Don't tell her, but write your phone number down here. Stand like here, she can't see. Write your phone number down. You'll get a call from me in a few days." And I did. And we clicked. We just clicked. I mean, he realized that what I knew was true, and I wasn't posting it. I wasn't putting it, I was keeping it secret. Well, when you find somebody who keeps your big secrets, I mean, I could have made a lot of money. I could have sold these secrets. I had proof. I'm a big believer in having receipts, and I always have receipts for everything. And that's how it happened.
So a blog that you started basically introduced you to this world of like celebrity fixing.
Yes. By the end of the first year, I had 30 people around the country, the world, actually. We had people from Germany. We had people from places I can't pronounce, so I won't try, that were running a website called Criminal Minds Fanatic. They were running the blog. I wasn't doing anything.
Can I show them the blog?
What?
Can I show them the blog?
You can, but I want them to understand that I got sick about 5 years ago. So I walked away, and one of my people said, "Can I do it?" And I said, "Yes." So the first part is just not me.
Okay.
You can tell where I start.
Gotcha. I'm going to show them the blog so you guys can see it. Criminal Minds Fanatic Favorite Things. And it looks like it stopped, I guess, uploading sometime in 2010. Am I hearing this correctly?
That's when she got tired of it too.
Gotcha.
Because the show had been it was off the air by that time. What was there left to say?
Yeah. I mean, there are some pictures here that I've never seen anybody have of the show.
Oh, well, if you really take the time to scroll down, you'll see pictures of us filming in graveyards.
Yes.
With me, like me, like hiding my eyes in Joe Montagne's chest, because
Wow.
I mean, it was like mortifying to me. You'll see pictures of them filming. You'll see pictures you couldn't have, no one has but me. No one took but me. And I was very careful about that. And I always asked Ed's approval before I posted a picture. That's what I'm saying. We had a lot of trust in each other.
Yeah.
And because of that, CBS said, she can't come back. What are you doing bringing her back? And he said, I can do anything I want to do. Go. You leave. She stay.
Wow.
So, but I worked hard.
Yeah.
I worked so hard that finally I said, somebody's going to have to come up with some money. Because if I'm going to have to put in these kind of hours, and people are going to, I mean, I had agents calling me. I had their tax people calling me. I had everybody in the world calling me. I had the woman who was being cheated on.
Yeah.
She called me to see if I knew anything. I don't even know how she knew who I was or my phone number.
I have a horrible cough. Hold up, Jill. Hold up. You said you had the woman called you?
The wife who was being cheated on actually called me. How did she get my phone number? Haven't got a clue. I guess she got it off his cell phone. She wanted to know if I was the one cheating with him. It was a hell of a phone call.
Oh my. Everybody in the chat is saying, Jill, can you fix this man?
I actually was able to fix that man.
Oh my God. Nisa has a question. Jill, how many other fixers are there in the entertainment industry?
Tons.
Tons?
You will, I can tell you almost certainly how to tell. If a story gets out that's really, really bad, and I'm talking really bad, and it stays out there and gets worse and worse and worse and worse, they have a bad fixer. If a story goes out there and it disappears, they have a good fixer. If they don't have a fixer, it's either way that it goes. It just, there's like, I can't explain it. It's like, you just wonder, why isn't somebody doing something? That's kind of where I would go with that. We'll get to Danny Masterson in a minute, but I would hear things and I would see things being printed, and I'd go, not on my guys. I'll tell you right now.
Oh wow.
And also, once you made a relationship with, like, I made relationships with Vanity Fair, with all the rag magazines. You make relationships. You don't print this, and I'll give you this later. And if somebody's just out there in limbo, they don't have somebody. I mean, I wish I had a better answer.
Wow. Do you?
Like I knew you asked last time, but I'll repeat it. I knew for a fact that Ashton Kutcher had a fixer. Now, I don't care what everybody says about his first phone call was to Danny, and it may well have been. But trust me when I tell you, he spoke to his fixer. How do I know that? I spoke to his fixer.
Okay, let's go back a little bit. When you're talking about the time where the woman that was murdered.
Yes. He showed up for the date. She was dead, and he claimed to not know anything about it. That he didn't even know she wasn't. He thought he was stood up. which nobody, by the way, believed on the planet.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. None of us believed. I know I didn't. I've always felt that that was a suspect.
No
situation.
one believed it. And and I get really tired of people saying, well, Danny was his fixer. No, Danny was his first phone call. It'd be like if you got in trouble, the first phone call would be to mom, but you're a smart woman. Your second phone call would be to an attorney. Okay, that's common sense. And I know for a fact he had a fixer because I spoke many times with the fixer. I knew her very, very well. We had done favors for each other. And I told her, you better jump on this because this is all over the place and nobody believes him. And she said, I know, but he's very stubborn. He was taking bad advice from somebody. I don't know. I would guess. I don't want to guess. I don't like guessing.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Do you okay, hold up now. Give me 1 second. My screen went off, so I want to make sure.
Oh, and by the way, while we're on the topic of Ashton, him and his wife, they have a fixer. They're not getting divorced. They're together. This is what you do. This is what a fixer does. He's trying to protect her. Good husband.
Wow.
We should all not have one.
Do you like let me ask you a question. What are some of the craziest things that fixers have been able to fix though? Because I'm wondering like to go above and beyond to cover things up to make sure that they don't come out. There has to have been at least some criminal aspect to this that there's this cover up of things, right?
Right. Well, I mean, I had an actor who got his second DUI, and it was going. There was no way to stop it. It was going to go out there. So I arranged for him to fly to New York. Well, somebody else made those arrangements, but I sent him to New York, and I had him doing one talk show after another talk show after another talk show, not talking about that, talking about some charity work that Criminal Minds was doing, which we were. We were absolutely doing this work, and asking people to look around their communities and see what kind of work he was Mother Teresa, Lady Di, all put together in New York. And when it came out, people were kinder than they would have been. It softened it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can't get rid of it, but you can soften it.
I hear you. So, do you feel like some of these celebrity fixers are working with nowadays? Because YouTube has become a big thing. Do you feel like some could be working with YouTubers?
Absolutely, no doubt about it, and I know that for a fact. Because one of the people that I used to know in the fixing world, she's helping a very large YouTuber. I'm not going to say who, but I will say that they have nothing to do with anything bad. It's just a situation, and that's it. And no one will ever know about it.
Wow.
That's the whole idea, is to make sure you do everything you can to make sure everything goes away.
Okay. I mean, wow, that's amazing. Do you think that, are Hollywood fixers just for Hollywood? Is it possible that, Scientology or other cults are using, such entities to figure things out too?
Well, I don't think that the Miscavige guy with Scientology has a fixer. I think he's crazy. And trust me, somebody with a fixer, it can't be crazy. There is a limit to what a fixer can do.
Yeah.
I don't know how to answer that question. I think, the world is open now. It wasn't when I was doing this, we were still using MySpace.
Yeah.
I mean, the world has changed.
Yeah.
I mean, between Twitter and everything else, like I could start a rumor about you right now, and I promise you it would get 2,000, 3,000 views. It's very easy. It works both ways.
Yeah.
Like before I left, there was one actor I hated. I hated him the whole time I worked for the show. Couldn't stand him. In fact, he couldn't stand me, and we avoided each other at every turn.
Yeah.
Well, he asked me one time to do him a favor and bury some information. I leaked it to every single magazine and newspaper I could think of.
Oh my God.
I said, "You're going to be an ass to me for 5 years and expect a favor? I don't think so, dude." Let's let the world know that your uncle killed his wife and went to prison for manslaughter.
Oh my God.
Not exactly what you want somebody to know about your family when you're on a show like Criminal Minds.
Absolutely.
And I did want to say one thing. It's kind of a little off subject, but you had a conversation about the guns, and was it Alex somebody? About guns and loaded guns and who's in charge of knowing, and somebody died. Do you remember?
Oh, Russ.
Okay, yes. Well, let me tell you something. I got curious about that, and I wrote to the person who was in charge of our stuff, and because I'm still friendly with most of these people, and he said, "It's not." He said, "Look at your pictures. You'll see everybody's got a gun on. They don't know if there's a bullet in it. They don't know if there's a blank in it. They don't know anything." And so I looked, and there's ones of, Matthew Gray Googler with a gun twirling in his hand. It is the person that is in charge of firearms. Period. End of story. Doesn't matter who else touched it. They came back with the right verdict.
Gotcha. So question, Cheek says, does any of this weigh on you, like morally or ethically, like being a fixer?
No, because I wouldn't, helping a man who's cheated on his wife sounds terrible, but he has 3 kids.
Yeah.
Young kids, but old enough that they would have heard about it. So you weigh things out, I mean, first of all, had we just had no kids, I probably would have let the story run.
Yeah.
Because it's just not a big deal. I mean, people back then didn't care if you were cheating on your wife. It was expected that actors were cheating, and actresses as well. I think one of the weirdest ones, one of the ones that broke my heart was we had an actress who was gay. We all knew it. It was seriously the worst kept secret in all of Hollywood. But she wouldn't come out. She was so afraid of what would happen to her if she came out of the closet. And nothing anybody said would convince her that she would find nothing but love and support. And finally, 2 years later, she did come out, and that's what she found was love and support.
Oh.
And I'm very grateful for that.
What's interesting is when you say this, like, the man with the cheating situation, and I'm just in my mind thinking, well, take the fixer out. Say that it's a friend, you're a friend with a married man and he happens to be cheating. Like, how is that any different? The only part is this other person is like in the public light,
Yeah, this was a nobody. I hate to call anybody a nobody, but she wasn't in the business.
Gotcha.
She turned out to be, and I forget what people call people who pretend to be other people. But she was after money. She was after a story, and she tried to sell it.
Yeah.
And my job was to make sure she didn't sell it. And eventually, a few years later, after he got a divorce, he came out with the story. I told him to. I said, you know what? It's not a secret. People know. Come on the right side of the line.
Yeah.
Tell people you made a mistake. You got married young. You have these kids. You love them too dearly, and that you and your ex-wife are working very closely to make sure that they grow up loved and healthy. And he did do that, and I think he was better for it. But there were a lot of things I saw that maybe could have gone a different way.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had seen like a child being abused, I would have reported that. I would have reported it.
Do you have any regrets about fixing anything?
No.
Okay.
No, I really don't. I don't have any regrets because I didn't do anything. I had a moral line that I wouldn't cross. Like I wouldn't, if it was going to hurt a child, if it was going to like break somebody's life,
Okay.
I didn't do it.
Okay.
I would find ways around it. There's always a way around. And that's what people don't take into account, even in daily life. There's always another way of doing something. I mean, there's things I wish I had done harder.
Yeah.
I mean, but no, I'm not. I'm not sorry for anything. And I didn't break any laws. I mean, that was important to me. I would go just so far to the line, but I never crossed it.
Yeah. Somebody said in the comments, like, it's like an attorney defending someone he or she knows is guilty. It's a bit of that way, right? Like having a.
It is. It absolutely is. And that's why I have to be frank with you. This whole, like, you've been like with this Busby and Diddy. I mean, I'm so lost. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it all out. It's nuts still. But I will say one thing about Bixby. Is that his name?
Busby.
Yeah. I don't know if he's a good attorney, a bad attorney, the devil. I don't know. But he is wrongly being targeted.
Yeah.
It is so obvious that it's a target.
Yeah.
Because what I would do, I would target him.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was going up against one of my people, I would target his ass.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I laugh every time somebody says, do you think he's being targeted? Of course he's being targeted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not guilty of anything. That's a whole nother story. And one day you can explain it to me, because I'm telling you, you have me so confused. I don't know whether I'm up or down.
Gotcha.
I don't know these people. So for me, it's like, huh?
And I really like, let me tell you what Kim said. And I think that this is probably a good definition of it. She says, again, she's a fixer. She has a great ability to soften blows and make justifications. And her job has to totally detach. It's a coping skill that works more positively, no pun intended. Would you say that that's like the job of a fixer?
Yes.
Perfect. I love that.
Excellent definition.
That's
beautiful. Thank you very much for that. She did a great job. That is. Now, there are terrible fixers. There are people that'll do anything. Seriously, they'll throw anybody under the bus. But, so I look at it this way. Sometimes actors, actresses, I don't know the other side of the world, but this side I know. Sometimes they do things that are so stupid that you just wonder how they got up in the morning, and should somebody be checking on their children?
Yeah.
And Ashton and Mila are exactly who I'm talking about. They're nuts. They're nuts. They're just nuts. They're nuts. I was saying that to their fixer, and she was like, "Would you please stop repeating that?" And I'm like, "I can't. They're nuts." She's like, "You can't fix nuts." And I said, "Well, then get the hell out, because you don't want to be involved in this anymore."
Oh my God.
They're going off a bad instinct.
Okay, Jill, let me ask you a question, and it's okay if you can't answer, but now I do have a question. Like, what does a celebrity fixer pay?
A lot of money.
Y'all, do me a favor in the chat. Drop some hearts for Jill. Like, Jill is freaking amazing. I love how she answers questions.
Let's put it this way. Your kids got over $700 worth of Christmas presents from Auntie Jill.
Yes. you gotta understand, like, guys, these people pay a lot of money for, to fix
They
things.
make a lot of money, Alex. I mean, Joe Montana came in at $350,000 an episode, $350,000 an episode.
Yeah.
The majority of them were making $250 an episode, and most times it was a 24 episode season. And a lot of them were smart enough not to hire agents. They didn't need an agent. They were on a top 10 show. So they kept their money. They had their money. I mean, I know one of the least paid people. She's sitting pretty. She's not even taking another job because she's made enough money to send her kids to college. Yeah, no, it pays a lot of money.
That's amazing. What do you let's talk about Danny Masterson, okay?
Yeah.
You ready for that one?
I will tell you that I went, in all fairness to your audience, I had to go to my attorney, talk to my attorney before, and see what I could and could not say about Danny Masterson. Because the last thing I want is to be called in to testify.
Oh,
that's just not happening. For a lot of reasons. Okay, so Danny Masterson. It's when the 5th season of Criminal Minds came to an end, I started taking on a lot of writers left, 5 writers left. And I was very close to 4 of them. And they all got co-executive leads on the other shows. Like Christian Slater went to The Forgotten. I got to meet him. But we realized his problems were so slight, he didn't need anybody. And that was fine. And he was lovely, happy to meet him. Then I was asked if I would be willing to sit down with Danny Masterson. I knew about Danny. I knew a lot about Danny Masterson, but I didn't know half of what I came to learn. I was told, I stayed at the Sofitel on Beverly Boulevard, and they have a 3-star restaurant attached to it. And in between the walkway is outside dining and canopies that you can almost completely close the drapes for privacy. And I was told that I was to come at a certain time, but I was to be escorted down from my room by 2 ex-FBI agents. And I was like, with guns. And I was like, why? And they're like, don't worry about it. One sat in one One sat on one side of me in their own cabana. Then there was the one for me, and then the other one sat on the one on the other side. And they put a pin on me, and it was a microphone. They were listening to everything that was being said. And I was like, what? Seriously, somebody's got to tell me what's going on or I'm walking. And they're like, we just want to make sure you're safe. And if you have to leave for any reason to go to the bathroom, whatever, you take your drink with you. I was like, why would I do that? Who does that? And they were like, you do it. Just do it. And I was like, this is insane, whatever. So he comes, he shows up. He doesn't even say hello. He sits down. He gets the bartender, well, the waitress, in the most disgustingly ridiculous way. I mean, he was just ugly. Get over here, take my drink order. And he ordered, I don't remember what he ordered, but he ordered like a triple something. Mind you, he hasn't said a word to me yet. And I don't get treated that way. I was already pissed. Now I'm pissed. And then she brings his drink, and he said, I don't need you. And I said, well, I don't need you. Why exactly are we here? He said, I was told I had to come here. And I was like, who told you you had to come here? And he said, that's none of your, effing business. And I was like, well, let me tell you something. You may have been told to come here, but I'm telling you to get out of here. You can go or I can go. And since I'm staying at the hotel, I vote you leave. But before he leaves, he does a drug. My lawyer will not allow me to say what drug it is. I'm sorry, everybody. Trust me, it was a drug. It was a very, very illegal drug.
Oh my God.
And he does it in front of me. And knowing somebody's listening to me, I say, why are you doing drugs in front of me? And he said, because I fucking want to. And I was like, oh, get me the hell out of here. And so he does his drugs. He finishes he was almost finished with his drink. And he gets up and he said, his last words to me were, fuck you. And I was like, what just happened? I mean, I help people. I don't hurt them. He came to me. I didn't send somebody out with handcuffs to drag him in here.
Right.
So he leaves, and I hear one of the cabanas next to me open, and I can see, I open mine, and I watch the agent watch to make sure that he actually gets into a car and leaves. And he does. And so we all are together now, the three of us. And I said, what the hell in hell was that? And I was furious. And I said, don't ever put me in a position like that. That man is crazy. Doing drugs in a high end. I mean, it was just, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind. In fact, I went back to my hotel room and I called one of the writers that I'm very, very close to, even to this day. And I told him what happened. And he's like, tell nobody what happened. Don't say a word. And I'm like, why? He said, trust me, this isn't a secret with this man, and you don't want to be involved in the least. And I was like, message received. But that was my one and only meeting with Danny Masterson.
Oh my gosh. Can't fix Can't fix somebody like Danny Masterson, that's for sure.
Well, it goes with my thing. You can't fix stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid just doesn't fix.
You can't.
I
Oh
mean,
my God.
first of all, if you want to do drugs, I'm not your mother, but I'm a stranger. And I'm somebody you know is very close to all social media. And you're going to do drugs in front of me? Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, it was stupid. It was just stupid. I could have sold that story for, I could have gotten at least 100 grand for it.
Yeah.
At least. I mean, and that's lowballing it. Especially since I had the receipt. He didn't even pay for his drink. I mean, this man is a piece of work. I mean, I have no sympathy for him whatsoever. I have no sympathy for anybody who would hurt a child or hurt a woman.
Yeah.
Or hurt anybody, a man. It doesn't matter. We're not put on this planet to hurt each other.
Yeah. Oh my God, Jill.
But that, ladies and gentlemen, is Danny Masterson.
I believe it.
The only nastier person is Chris Brown's mother. And other than that, I didn't meet very many. Like, I met a few actors that I think could have used therapy, but that's okay. Therapy's okay. And in fact, if I had an actor that was going to therapy and had a little bit of something we didn't want known, I would have him admit he was going to therapy.
Yeah. So so somebody asked a question, like, that was basically the end of your involvement with Danny Masterson at that meeting. Is that correct?
Yes. I was asked about from the FBI, the retired ones, if I would give a statement to the FBI that was still working. And I was like, hell no, I'm not getting involved.
Yeah.
This man is crazy. I have now heard a lot from other people, and I don't want to be involved. And look at where we are now.
Yeah.
Look how long he's been doing crazy. This is not new. People think, oh, he something must have happened. Now he's crazy. We're going back 5-6 years ago. The man is nuts. Crazy nuts.
Wow.
If you never believe another word I say, believe that. He's crazy nuts.
Wow. Oh my goodness, Jill, like, now that you talked a little bit more about like celebrity fixers, I'm kind of wondering how many YouTubers out there are celebrity fixers and what we should be mindful of when it comes to this.
The thing about it is, Robert, I always kept receipts.
Yeah.
That's why when I first approached you, I didn't just blindly say, hi, my name is. I sent you pictures.
You did. I was like,
receipts are everything.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I don't do anything without a receipt. I never believed anybody without a receipt. Granted, I didn't have a receipt for the wife calling me and asking me if I was screwing her husband, but that was okay because I wasn't about to print that.
Yeah.
But no, I think the most important thing I could tell YouTubers is this. There's so much infighting going on. See, I got very interested because I had never heard of Scientology. So I got interested.
Yeah.
But now they're all fighting with each other and blah, 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 blah. And my thing is, where are the receipts?
Yeah.
Don't say something if you can't back it up. I mean, there are some YouTubers, I don't like what they have to say, but they have the receipts for it.
Yeah.
So you know what? I throw my hands up and say, you know what? No. And I told you, I don't agree with everything you say. But you have receipts. And because you have receipts, I respect it.
Yeah. Well,
And you know that other than the other day when you like came apart at the seams and started having a mental breakdown. I forget what it was about, but you went off. You were off the chain.
I was probably a lot. I've been off the chain pretty recently.
I was like, you know, I don't agree with everything she says, but you know, she's honest.
Yeah.
And I look for honest.
Yeah.
But I would warn these people, you know, if you go out and you protest, I think that's great. I protested when I was a teenager.
Mhm.
But if you know you're going to be arrested, you absolutely know you're going to be arrested. I think you're crazy.
Yeah.
I think you're making a bad decision, but that's not my decision to make.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. It's like there has to be mutual respect, but in the end, I want to see receipts. I'm
Yeah.
not going to believe anybody blindly. I'm just not going to happen. I think that YouTubers need, more than anybody, YouTubers need to be, because Twitter's dead for all intents and purposes.
Yes.
It's dying a slow death, but death is where it's going. And people are going to look towards what is the social media of the day, and the social media of the day is YouTube.
Gotcha.
And I would also say, when you have a guest on, not you personally, but when a YouTuber has a guest on, make sure their hands are clean. Make sure they have proof of whatever they're going to say.
Yeah.
You would never have had me on had I not continuously proven to you who I am. You know what I'm saying? I have the things coming out my
Yeah. You know, to be fair, Jill, and by the way, I think the sound is in and out, but to be fair, like, and for those that don't know, Jill has shown me a lot of stuff. And let me just say this, as somebody who's been doing this for quite some time, I always have a lot of people that tell me I've done X, Y, and Z, or I'm this and that and the other, and they never show receipts. But Jill has been persistent in showing me receipts of different things that, she has done or she has said or she has shown. So I appreciate you for that. I think that is what's been unique. People will say a lot of, we've seen here time and time again, you have a lot of people that come online and say different things, but don't show anything for it. So thank you for, first of all, for trusting me in telling. I know we had, technical difficulties and whatnot, but I appreciate you telling me your side of things and all that you've shared with me. Like, it's valuable information.
I don't know if I did it in the beginning, but I'd like to thank your moms and the people that contribute the most to the chats. There's a kindness there.
Yeah.
What I call grace. And I think they do a very, very good job.
Yeah.
On keeping the chat clean.
Yeah. Shout out to my mods, guys. Jill just said shout out to the mods, guys. I don't know if you guys heard that. We have the best mods here. Yeah.
You have very good mods. And you have a lot of people that you like will talk to. You'll say, hey, come on up and say something. They're very insightful, and that's really good. That's great. You're growing your channel, and I think you'll do great. Just receipts from anybody you bring on.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, if it turns out they're a hoax, who's the one who takes the hit?
I do. You're right. You're right.
I would pass that on because there's a few channels I have stopped watching, which I really loved, but they were in their Scientology channel because they're interviewing people I can't get behind. They don't have receipts. I don't believe half of what they're saying because I can't believe something I can't see.
Okay.
And anyway, that's all
Yeah.
I'll say on that. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to put anybody down. It's
Yeah. Jill, do you have any last words for us? Because I know the sound is going in and out. Do you have any last words for us?
No, I think that you're all wonderful people. You're one of the few groups that I'm in, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that you all argue the way you do. Because it's respectful. There's nothing wrong with having a different opinion. It's how you go about presenting it.
Yeah.
And for the mods, thank you for, I forget her name, but anytime you're out of control, everybody calls for somebody. I can't forget her name. I forget her name. To put you back in your box.
Oh my
And I
God,
think
Jill.
she's very special.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jill, I appreciate you. I'm going to follow up with you. I'm going to hang up now, but let me know if you have anything else to say before I hang up.
I don't. Thank you for the opportunity of talking with the group. And if anybody else has questions, just send them to send them to Rabbit. And,
Yes.
And Rabbit can email me, and I'll email her back an answer.
Yes, I will do that. And then I'll see if I can use some of the, if you're okay with it, we'll talk offline, but use some of the pictures that you send me. I would love to, put them out here. Completely up to you.
Yeah, they're fine, but I will tell you that if you, and maybe you can get one of your monsters, but I don't know, but if you go to the start of the blog,
Yeah.
and you go up from the bottom, you'll see some awesome pictures.
I'm going to put the blog on the chat so people can check it out, okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, perfect.
Those are really good pictures, and plus I'm much thinner in them, so,
Yes.
who doesn't want to see that?
All right, Jill, I'll let you go. Thank you so much.
Give a hug to baby bunny.
I will, and thank you again, Jill. You are amazing. Thank you so much for your blessings and everything. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. And everybody can wish me a happy Hanukkah because we're on our 4th day of Hanukkah.
Yes. Happy Hanukkah.
Thanks. Where are my 8 gifts?
Thank you. All right, Jill.
Okay, goodbye.
Love you, Jill. Bye. Yo, shout out to Jill. We figured it out, like with all the, and matter of fact, while I was on the phone with Jill, I was having these technical difficulties on the screen, and we figured it out. Hopefully, but the camera's over here, my screen is off. That's why I keep looking over there. You guys drop some hearts for Jill. Jill, thank you so much again for blessing my channel. Now let me shout out Sly. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Sly. Let me put some hearts in the chat for Sly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you guys have been blessed by anybody that gives on my channel, put some hearts in the chat, please and thank you. Let me also, Not That Guy, thank you for becoming a member, love. Shout out to you, Not That Guy. Just McCarthy has been a member for 10 months. Oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, thank you again so much for being here, for stopping by. Just a quick little interview and conversation with Jill. Jill, thank you so much again for trusting my channel. You are amazing. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. TLC is, for me, has been a member for 7 months. Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you, love, for supporting my channel. Thank you. Listen, y'all are amazing. Thank you. Now, I got a live stream that there's a couple things I gotta fix information-wise, and we'll be live later. And then there's some other videos that I'm working on, but y'all stay tuned. Hit the like button, share. Again, Jill, thank you so much for being amazing and for giving us all this exclusive information on my channel. I will see you guys on the next one because I gotta go tend to baby bunny. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Bye, 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 guys. Bye, bye, bye.